The Office of Professional Responsibility in the Justice Department is tasked with the job of figuring out who is, following the laws within the Justice Department, who's following the Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. They're the ones that keep an eye out to make sure the Justice Department is actually following the law, right? So they had an investigation of the infamous torture memos during the Bush administration, mainly written by Jay Bybee and John Yoo. And they wanted to see if the people who wrote these memos were following internal Justice Department guidelines and were following the law itself, right? And they came to a conclusion that they had not, that they had done professional misconduct. They basically, in order to appease the policy people over at the White House, namely Dick Cheney, his top lawyer, David Addington, et cetera, wrote opinions that now the Office of Professional Responsibility think were not justified by the law at all. So that they should be brought up, not in a criminal trial, but brought to the bar to have them explain how in the world did you come up with these opinions inside the Justice Department saying it was okay to torture when it seems so absolutely and clearly against the laws of this country. And to give you a sense of how egregious John Yoo was, the Office of Professional Responsibility, in the middle of the investigation, invited him in to ask him questions, and he came in and answered them. And they asked him, hey, let me ask you a wild hypothetical. Quote, what about ordering a village of resistance to be massacred? Is that a power that the president could legally have? Now, they're asking this because John Yoo wrote memos saying the president has the power to do anything, anything. He can torture people, he can ignore Congress's laws. As long as we're in a time of war, and we are always at war with terrorism, the president is above the law, basically. Now, that's unjustifiable in our system, according to our laws and according to our Constitution. That's why they think this is professional misconduct. But they're giving him an opportunity here. Could the president order a massacring of civilians? Here's John Yoo's answer. Yeah. Although, let me say this, so certainly that would fall within the commander-in-chief's power over tactical decisions. Not unclear. Yes, it falls within his tactical decision power-making. If he'd like to massacre civilians, perfectly capable of doing that, and that would be perfectly legal. And the investigator is shocked. He can't believe it. He asks, to order a village of civilians to be exterminated? Yoo's answer, sure. He didn't stutter. So, now this is obviously against the law. It's not even taking U.S. law into consideration at all. It's just John Yoo's opinion that, yeah, the president can do any damn thing he likes. He can murder anyone he likes. It's crazy, right? So, why am I angry at the Obama administration? Well, they sent in a hack, what in the terms of the Washington media, they call him a career veteran. His name is David Margolis. He takes the conclusions of the Office of Professional Responsibility that said this was professional misconduct on Yoo and Bybee's part, and he changes it. Did he do his own separate investigation? Did he interview Yoo? Did he go through all the things that they did? Nope. He's a political hack brought in to wash things over. So he takes that and goes, no, it's not professional misconduct. I, in my infinite wisdom, have decided that it does not rise to that level. It's just simply something we disagree with. Well, that's just a matter of disagreement then, isn't it? So they will not be brought before the bar. There will be no investigation. No crimes were committed, even though they did all of this investigation and said that this was misconduct. Throw that in the garbage, because they brought in a politician or a guy who will do whatever a politician says, and in this case, Obama, to say, we're going to look forward, we're not going to look backward. The Justice Department's job is not to look at crimes of the past, which is, of course, nonsense. That's exactly what the Justice Department is supposed to do. They look at crimes that happened. They're not supposed to look into the future, what crimes might possibly happen. No, you look at the crimes that did happen and prosecute them. So, they are free to go. No one will suffer any consequences for the torture that was ordered, for the ridiculous, outrageous, so-called legal memorandum that were written to justify it. And John Yoo will continue to be a law professor. A law professor. This man, you know, he's at Berkeley. You'd have to be crazy to send your kids to Berkeley. Berkeley should, law school should, no one should go to Berkeley Law School. While this, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the Office of Professional Responsibility before Margolis, the hatchet man, was sent in, is a criminal. And that guy's teaching your kids? You're going to pay money to get taught by John Yoo? Hell no. Hell no, man. Everybody at Berkeley should be up in arms. Okay? They should protest until that guy is fired. They shouldn't go to a single class at Berkeley until he's fired. We know what the real report said, not what Obama's guy changed it to. So now, and Bybee's a sitting federal judge. And knowing the Republicans, once you get a Republican president back in, he'll be promoted again. Who knows? Maybe the Supreme Court's in his future. All right, probably won't happen. Okay? But he's got a great job sitting on the federal bench. Now, why am I so bad at the Obama administration? I mean, for the reasons that I explained, obviously. But look, here's the critical part. It's one thing for somebody to break the law. It's another thing for someone to sanction it. Sanctioning it is almost worse. Because, look, you'll always have criminals. You'll always have people pushing the boundaries, in this case, of our democracy. To say, oh, no, the president is above the law. The president can break the law. The president could order torture. The president could order murder. And none of it matters. You'll always have those guys. But if you don't punish them, or if you don't at least say, hey, this is misconduct, this was legally wrong, then you say it's okay, it's sanctioned. And the next time a Republican comes in office, or maybe a Democrat, they're going to turn back and say, well, it was a matter of disagreement. It's not really illegal. It's not really misconduct. Just a matter of disagreement. So now we go back to torturing and killing. And that is more dangerous than anything else. Obama here, with honestly, in my opinion, his cowardice in not pursuing what the real Justice Department findings were, in burying them, has set a terrible and grave precedent. Torture is no longer illegal. It's just a matter of opinion. And it's hard to do more damage to the country than by setting that precedent.